Hello, welcome to my May reading wrap-up. So this is kind of the first time I've done a month recap of books, but I'm doing it. First of all, I would like to say, one of my previous videos, The Struggle to Be Productive, or something is what it's called, is gotten quite a few views, only like 500, but that's still good. And I got like 30 or 40 subscribers after that. So I very, very much appreciate that support. It means so much, obviously, when videos actually do okay, because obviously it means that I'm doing something right and you guys enjoy that. I also got a pretty funny, someone requested, and I don't have any hard feelings towards them. They said they requested that I do captions because I'm assuming they couldn't understand what I was saying. So I just thought that was really funny because I know I have a very quiet voice, and it's a struggle, bro. When I'm editing my videos, every time I put voice overs in, it's like 30 times quieter than the rest of the video, and I have to up the levels of the volume so high, and even then my voice just sort of blends into the background. It's so hard for my voice to be like prominent, it just blends into the background noise. So I apologize for that. I just don't do captions because it takes so long to write all the ridiculous amount of unnecessary words that I say down and put captions in. That would take so long. May reading wrap up. In the month of May, I read 8 books. I had a little bit of a busy month at first. I went on a trip and stuff, but then after I got back, I was sort of slowly got more into reading, and then the end of the month I read is when I did most of my reading. So I did 8 books, which is probably the most I've ever read in a month. So be proud of me, guys. Right here, I have the 8 books that I read. Oh! So I was in a bit of a reading slump before, but I wanted to read some mystery novels this month to get myself out because I just love them and they're so easy to read and enjoyable. So I did read quite a few of those. First book I read was Heartless by Marissa Meyer, which was recommended to me by my good friend Rachel, and I loved this book. It was really good. It kept me very into it the whole way through, and it was very heartbreaking. So, after finishing it, I was a little bit stumped on starting another book because it just is, it takes a lot out of you, but it's very, very good. I do recommend it. It's excellent writing, it's very magical, delightful. It was a very light, enjoyable book until the more you get into it, then it gets sort of darker and more heartbreaking at the end. So I highly recommend this. 5 stars for sure. I loved it, and I'm glad that I have a copy of it. I'm not going to do this completely in order. I also read 13 at Dinner, which is a Agatha Christie, Hercule Poirot mystery, which is part of this collection here that I have, so I chose to read it. I thought it was going to be about 13 people at dinner and one of them gets killed, and Poirot is one of the people at dinner and he has to figure out how or what happened, but that wasn't what it was about, actually. So, I can't spoil anything. 5 stars, of course. Oh, so good. Oh, gosh. I read this book also near the beginning of the month, which is The Hidden Life of Trees by Peter Wohlleben. That's probably not how you say his name, but it's a book about trees and the forest. And it just goes into all the scientific study that people have done, he's done mainly, on forests and trees and how they communicate and learn and, live, and how forests thrive, and, the difference between, natural forests and man-made forests. And it was a very interesting book. I just love trees, so I really was curious on learning more about them, and there's some pretty fascinating stuff in this book, so it was very good. 4, 5 stars, I don't know, something like that. I don't even remember what I rated it, but yeah, very enjoyable. I read Treasure Island by Robert Louis Stevenson, which is a book I've been kind of interested in for years. I never read it. It's sort of a children's book, I suppose, but I loved this book. I was familiar with the story from being a kid, and it was so cool to see the original source material. Definitely 5 stars. It was sort of an indulging nostalgia and childhood fantasies and stuff, because I never knew, the original story, and now I do, which was really good. So I read The Floating Admiral, which is a mystery novel by the Detection Club, which is like a group of mystery writers, I guess. I don't know much about it, if I'm being honest, but this book was written by like 10-ish people, 10 different people. So the Detection Club decided to do this book where they would write, a different person would write each chapter, and each person writing a chapter would have to determine in their head their own solution to the mystery and write a chapter and leave it, and then the next person would take it up, think using all the facts what they thought the solution was, and write their chapter. So, the book just each chapter is progressively written by different people with different ideas in their heads, and then it comes to the final chapter where the last person had to tie it all up and make the final solution, which honestly, considering this was written by so many different people with so many different ideas, because it says at the end of the book what each person's idea for the solution was, it's incredibly how coherent it actually is. Like, it's not like I had trouble at all following the story and there wasn't inconsistencies. It's a really cool idea, and I really liked it, and I really liked the final expose. So, yeah, I really loved this book. It has mixed reviews, I think, but it was 5 stars for me. So, very good, very interesting. I highly recommend reading this because it's just so cool of a story. I also read Curtain by Agatha Christie, which is Hercule Poirot's final mystery novel, which I didn't know because I haven't read them all, obviously. But it was really, really incredible. It was like, I loved this book so much. I just love Agatha Christie and her writing, and it felt just like her final. It just felt like, all of the things she wrote and in her life just led up to this book, and it was pretty incredible. She died not long after writing this, so it was very, very good. In terms of mystery novels, it's one of the ones I've actually I really got into it. I really cared for the characters in the story, and it was really, sort of heartfelt. I don't know. Great though, 5 stars, 5 stars. And all these books have been 5 stars, I think. I also read by Agatha Christie, Why Didn't They Ask Evans, which is a mystery novel without a specific detective. It's just a random mystery, and really enjoyed this. A very unique premise for, a murder mystery, and it was, honestly, the title for this book and the way it's incorporated into the mystery it just felt so ingenious to me. Like, I don't know how she comes up with these things, bro. Why didn't they ask Evans? Like, how could that be? The way it's incorporated, trust me, if you read this book, I was so, surprised at the end, how it was all tied together, but it's so good. I really enjoyed the whole setting of this book, but that's like every Agatha Christie book, the settings are always so well described and really brings you into the story. Anyways, lastly, I read Caraval, which is by Stephanie Garber. Yeah, it is. Perfect. This was recommended to me by my friend Rachel as well. I think it's the first book in a series of 3 books, I think. Might be more than that, I'm dumb, but it was very good. I enjoyed it for sure. It reminded me a little bit of Heartless in a way, but at the same time, obviously, it was way different. It's a little bit like The Night Circus as well, which I loved. This was very, very good. I wouldn't say it was spectacular. It wasn't like some incredible piece of work. I definitely really enjoyed it though, and I'm excited to read the other books, and this was 4 stars for me, for sure. Very good book. I basically rated it 4 stars because I feel bad that I rate everything 5 stars, and this wasn't like some incredible experience reading this, so I was like, well, 4 stars, whatever. But it's very good, trust me. Really enjoyed that as well. So anyways, those are the 8 books I read. I talk way too long about these books, so I'm sorry how long this video is. It could have been like 3 minutes probably, but yeah, that was my May reading. June, I've read 1 book so far this June, and we're like 5 days in, so that's a little bit slow. I haven't read the past few days, just read yesterday. I need to start a new book, so yeah. Anyways, thank you guys for everything. I love you, and I appreciate the support, and I appreciate that some people watch these videos because I love making videos, and I'm usually the only one who really watches them or cares about them, which is sad. But at the same time, I've been getting more support lately, and I really, really appreciate that because it makes me feel less bad about making them I don't know. Anyways, I'll see you in the next video. I love June.